For the ONlife project, Storytelling Center organized 2 training courses within the scope of Intellectual Output 2. The first consisted of 2 sessions spread over 2 days, of around 4 hours each. The second of 3 sessions, spread over 3 days of 2 hours each. Our aim of the program of the first 2 sessions was twofold: to test existing online tools on their use for certain activities and to inspire the participating adult educators to make the most of their online training activities. An important part of this was to evaluate each activity with the participants and share any thoughts and ideas they might have. By doing so, the participants became part of the process, and their knowledge, experience and ideas became as much part of the training program as those of the trainers, with mutual inspiration as a result. Our main platform was Zoom, because most people are familiar with it and it can be used in combination with many other platforms. We chose to combine it with Zoom breakout rooms, Padlet, Jamboard, Story Dice and Mentimeter, because these seemed fit for the activities we had in mind to break the ice, to stimulate creativity and to help people find a subject for a short personal story. We used Padlet, for example, to visualize a map on which participants could mark where they were born, where their parents were born and where their grandparents were born. Each participant could place their own markers. We prepared the Padlet in advance and shared a link using the Zoom chat. We used this exercise to visualize the diversity in the group, to generate short stories about how people got where they are now, and to get an impression of people's storytelling capabilities. Later on in the program, we asked people to make a mind map using Jamboard by writing their associations with their favorite holiday or passion they could choose on digital sticky notes. Making a mind map helps people to find a focus and content for a personal story. The general response to the training was great. People really liked the training course as a whole. We used Mentimeter to evaluate further, as we hadn't used it before and were curious. As shown, participants found that almost all the activities were very nice, and they would use all the tools and platforms used in the training, with one exception, the Padlet. They felt it did not serve the purpose and hindered the flow of the training. Participants liked the hands-on approach of the training. They had expected more information but found that learning by doing works really well. They also felt like they were made an ally in the project, that trainers and trainees were equal, and that trainers can learn as much from the participants as the participants can learn from the trainer. One challenge we faced was that participants were displaying varying levels of skill with digital platforms. While some were making elaborate creations in Jamboard, others were struggling to work on the right page. Thus, some got frustrated they couldn't handle the tool, while others were frustrated by the lack of skill of the other participants. We also found that using tools is not always the best way to do an exercise, and that they don't always work online, as illustrated by this quote.
De oefening met het kopje zou ik live wel doen, maar op deze manier ervaar ik dat fysiek minder.
For the second part of the training, we therefore used very little tools. This was also due to the fact that this training was more focused on sharing information, and tools, we found, can take away the focus from this information. So we only used the shared screen function in Zoom. Lastly, we encountered the challenge that WonderMe, which we hoped to use for an informal evaluation, cannot be used on a mobile device. One participant turned out to be working on such a mobile device. This meant we were unable to use this platform. One of our main challenges was finding and keeping participants. Though we had initially recruited 8 people, only 5 showed up, and of those 5 only 2 remained on the second day. The others could not attend the second session for various reasons. We addressed this issue by combining 2 training groups with similar training objectives for the second part of the training, so we had a more substantial group of participants. However, we also found that having a small group of participants is not such a bad thing. Not only does it mean that all the participants are visible in the Zoom screen at the same time, which is always nice, there is also enough time for everyone to share their story. We also wonder whether we should have been more clear about the training's content in advance. In the next stage of the project, we plan to pay special attention to the use of Zoom breakout rooms as a means for participants to help each other to get a task done, especially when it comes to constructing a personal story. This seems to work better than in a whole group session.
Wat kunnen ook werken is dat misschien een breakout room met om mensen in 2 deeltjes of 3 groepjes te maken. Dat kan ook een idee zijn. Misschien beter dat ik alleen maar 2 mensen goed luistert in een breakout room dan de hele groep.
We hope to find solutions for the challenges we have met and hope to help people learn online. But mostly we had fun and hope to do so again soon.